Prepaid cards come in handy if you want to do an online transaction or even do online shopping without risking all the funds in your bank account, or if you don't want to worry about the costs of acquiring a credit card and the related charges. In this video, I explain the basics of prepaid cards. What is a prepaid card and how similar or different is it from traditional debit cards or credit cards. At the end of the video, I will also explain why it's better to use a prepaid card for online transactions than using a debit card. Hello, if it's your first time on this channel, welcome. What is a prepaid card? A prepaid card, just like a debit or a credit card, is a plastic card that you can use to make payments. But in this case, you need to load the card with funds first so as to be able to use it. There are various ways of loading cash to your prepaid card. You could either transfer funds from your bank account to your prepaid card, or you could even use over-the-counter services, or even walk into a participating retailer, or even loading using a mobile application. So basically, when you're making a prepaid card payment, the maximum you can utilize is only the amount you have loaded to that card. Now, how is a prepaid card similar to a debit or a credit card? 1. You can use a prepaid card to carry out almost all the transactions that you can carry out using a debit card or a credit card, whether it's a cash withdrawal or in-store purchases or even online purchases. 2. In terms of look and feel, a prepaid card has the same physical features that a debit card or a credit card have. So basically it will have a logo, it will have your name on it, and all the other elements that a bank card has. Now, let's compare prepaid cards versus debit cards. To begin with, one of the similarities is that when you're using a debit card and a prepaid card, you're accessing your own money. For debit cards, it's your own money deposited to your savings or even current account. While for a prepaid card, of course, you need to load the card using your own money. When it comes to differences, a debit card is tied to a bank account, while a prepaid card is not tied to a bank account. So for a prepaid card, anytime you make a payment, the balance is deducted from your card balance and not from your bank account. In terms of usage, it's possible for you to overdraw your bank account if you're using a debit card, while on the other side, for a prepaid card, that may not be possible unless your card provider gives you such an option. For a prepaid card, usage is basically limited to the amount that you deposited. So in the event that you try to carry out a transaction with limits higher than what you loaded, in this case, the transaction will simply be declined due to insufficient funds. Next, let's compare a prepaid card versus a traditional credit card. One of the differences is in terms of the source of funds. As said earlier, for a prepaid card, you load money into the card for you to be able to use it. For a credit card, on the other hand, it is a line of credit extended to you by the bank. So what that means, you're basically using the bank's money to do a transaction. For more information on how the credit limit works, I had also explained that in an earlier video. Please, you can watch the video on the screen to learn more about that. While using a credit card has an impact on your credit score, a prepaid card doesn't impact your credit score. In addition, it's way easier for you to acquire a prepaid card than a credit card. The reason being, for you to acquire a prepaid card, you don't necessarily need to have a credit history. Number 3, when you're using a prepaid card, you are not using borrowed money. So in this case, you'll not be worried about interest charges. In contrast, when using credit cards, you may need to be worried about interest, especially if you don't make your payments in good time. So, how is using a prepaid card for online shopping better than using a debit card? Now, before I answer that question, if you find this content valuable, please hit the subscribe button on the screen. Number 1, let's consider a case where fraud has happened. In the event that your prepaid card is exposed to hackers or fraudsters, the maximum that they can access is only the amount you had preloaded on your prepaid card. So in this case, you are likely not to worry about missing out on other financial commitments due to your funds getting lost. In contrast, when using a debit card, all your funds will be exposed and you may end up incurring huge financial losses or even great inconveniences. Number 2, how about your spending habits? Now, the good thing about using a prepaid card is that you can load only the amount that you require to do a specific purchase. This means that you are less likely to overspend since there won't be enough funds to purchase other items which you are not budgeted for. Alright guys, in the upcoming videos, I will share more info about prepaid cards, their pros and cons. I will also answer the question whether you should get one. So please stay tuned. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so as not to miss out on the upcoming videos.